Hello, what's going on guys? This is Kaishiro. Welcome back. So for our video today, we're going to cover the top 5 best decks after the July banlist in OCG format. So these are the decks that I assume and expect to be donning the best decks of the format after the implication of July banlist that is coming very soon on Sunday. So yeah, these are the decks that I think that will emerge as the new best decks of the format. So without further ado, let's get started. Disclaimer, I just assume that the top tier meta decks right now like the Emancipator, Earth Good Stuff, Branded, Tearlaments, Kashtira, Purely, Super Heavy Samurai, Matmech, and Runic are all going to hit. So these are the basis of my selection on these 5 best decks after them. So yeah, let's get started. Coming at number 5, we have the Adventurer Sky Striker. So this deck saw resurgence lately due to the impact of Sky Striker Camellia, the newest addition to the Sky Striker monster lineup on their extra deck. So that card made way for Adventurer to innovate as an engine on Sky Striker by using the Adventurer line of play, using the Illegal Knight and the Adventurer token that you can link into Link Spider. You can make the Sky Striker Camellia, and then you can pitch the Engaged, and then you can go into Kagari to fetch the Engage and add it to your hand, and then use the Engage to have card advantages. So that's basically how the deck functions right now. And Adventurer also gives you spell count on the graveyard from the Aramesir and extra utility from the Dracobak when you're facing against Bloodgates and problematic Floodgate monsters. So yeah, that's the function of Adventurer Sky Striker. And then the addition of Camellia that can have access early into Engage gives them so much card value advantages on the opening stages of the game when they can use Engage to search for their utility cards on their deck, on their toolbox deck, and then they have a chance to draw from the Engage like their hand traps of DD Crow and many more hand traps that is relevant to the Sky Striker. So it is very good to plus the card advantages on the Sky Striker deck list. That's why I think that Adventure Sky Striker is the new emerging better deck right now on the format due to the addition of Sky Striker Camellia. So the problem of this deck is mainly because of Ash, of course, because Sky Striker already loses to Ash, but on this build, this is more prone and critical against Ash Blossom because you can just easily lose to one Ash Blossom if I may assume the place correctly. So yeah, that's the downside of this deck. But nonetheless, this is a very good deck on the format and a new one also. So it will definitely dodge the ban list. So at number 5, we have Adventurer Sky Striker. Coming in at number 4, we have Dragon Link. So I'm not really sure about including Dragon Link here because most of the Dragon Link taps on the Road of the King and then the other metagame charts are mainly from Korea. So this deck is relatively successful on Korea, South Korea to be specific. But I pondered and studied the deck, and I also plan to use this deck on future formats. That's why I really thought that this deck is still strong right now. The addition of Bestial Dispater it became a very good inclusion to the Dragon Link archetype, and then the Bestials, of course, you can always interrupt your opponent. Like Sky Striker, they have Dark Monsters and Light Monsters on the graveyard. You can easily punish them with the Bestials. So I really think that the deck is still good, and you can see it on the Road of the King. This deck has some representation on the metagame chart lately. And then I always think that this deck can also bring out decent board with the Boral monsters like Boral Load Savage and then Boral End. And then Hieratic Seal Bounce is also insanely good on many matchups like Kashtira and other decks that can auto lose to the Hieratic Seals. And then you have Regained and Beast to improve the sealing and consistency of the deck from the Bestial. And also you have space for adding hand traps like Droll and Lockbird and Forbidden Droplet. You even have space to utilize utility cards like Droplet on the deck. So the deck is quite spacious despite the combo-oriented play of the deck. That's why I really think that this deck is really good right now on the format. But the problem is they are really weak against Maxi, of course. They will be forced to manage their resources more tight and carefully when they are playing around Maxi. But if Dragon Link can't get Maxied or interrupted, assume that this deck will bring out very terrifying boss monsters on their arsenal. So yeah, at number 4 we have Dragon Link. At number 3 we have Vanquishol. So yeah, Vanquishol is really nice right now in the format. It will only get better because they will have a new support from the Age of Overlord. I guess that's the name of the new set that is coming very soon on July, I assume. So yeah, Vanquishol will get support from that set and it will help the deck to get better. And the deck is already better and good on the format right now. And I assume that Vanquishol will rise to the top once the better decks right now will get hit on the ban list very soon. Similar to Sky Striker and Dragon Link, they also have spacious main deck to operate hand traps like Infinite Impermanence, and then you can always count on Droll and Lockbird and Ash Blossom and Droll Diddy Crow, especially Ash and Diddy Crow because they have synergy on the Vanquishol being fire and dark monsters. That is gateway for them to reveal them those hand traps on your hand to have specific effects on Vanquishol monsters. So that's why playing hand traps is very good on Vanquishol. They can also play There Can Be Only One, other floodgates like Skill Drain to control the tempo of the game. So I really think that Vanquishol is a really good mid-range to control type of deck that can really instigate the many meta decks on the format right now. But the problem is they are very weak against Raigeki. Even though they have hand effect shenanigans that can dodge the cards like Infinite Impermanence or adding target or other targeting hand traps, they can easily lose to Raigeki because they have no play around against Raigeki. But nonetheless, the deck is really good on the format and it will only get better. So at number 3 we have Vanquishol. Coming at number 2 we have Labyrinth. So this deck also got new support, indirect support from the Animation Chronicles. I forgot the name of the pack that introduced the transaction rollback. That's a new trap card to empower the Labyrinth because it has a really insane synergy on Labyrinth trap effect shenanigans on their graveyard, on their hand, on their field. They have really insane recursion of trap cards on their disposal. So you can definitely count on transaction rollback if you are playing Labyrinth. It helps you to be more explosive. It helps you to be more flexible, and it gives another ceiling to the deck to play. And then you can always count on cards like Dimensional Barrier on Labyrinth that can skip the turn of your opponent. Really insane card right now in the format. It can stun many decks like Kashtira and Tearlaments. So yeah, Dimensional Barrier is really good. But the problem is Labyrinth is very weak against Red Reboot. Red Reboot is very insane on Labyrinth because they rely on playing trap cards. That's why Red Reboot is a good answer to Labyrinth. So at number 2, we have Labyrinth due to the inclusion of transaction rollback on the Labyrinth strategy. So I think that Labyrinth will get better if the players will innovate a build to incorporate the transaction rollback and other powerful trap cards on their disposal. So at number 2, we have Labyrinth. Coming at number 1, we have Rescue Ace. So this deck blossomed into success lately for the past 2 or 3 weeks of the OCG format. Rescue Ace topped simultaneously and consecutively from the Duelist Cup tournaments and Asian tournaments, big events. You can always see Rescue Ace tapping on those tournaments. So that's why this deck is legitimately the best deck of the format right now as per the Road of the King. But the format is very diverse, so you can get many reactions and arguments from that subjective matter that I have said earlier about Rescue Ace. But for me, Rescue Ace is the best deck on the format currently. and I don't think that they will get hit on the ban list because they are relatively new as the best deck of the format, and it only saw resurgence for the past 2 to 3 weeks, and they are not a target for the ban list because the success of them is really short-lived right now on the format. Many say that emergency will get hit from the ban list, and then hydrant into 1 or 2 will also get hit. I assume that they can hit hydrant if they are being too hasty on the rescue ace, but I still think that this is still going to be the best deck even if they hit hydrant. And emergency, it is a quite difficult thing to measure on rescue ace because emergency is really the best card on rescue ace right now aside from the turbulence. So yeah, I still think that rescue ace will definitely top even if they hit hydrant into 2. The problem of rescue ace is the board wipes like evenly match. Evenly match is very insane on rescue ace because rescue ace relies on back row strategy so that they can interrupt your opponent. So evenly match is really insanely good against countering the strategy of rescue ace. And then you have cards like Proxy F Magician and Mad Dragon, Fusion Mad Dragon, that can help you to play around Veiler and Imperm. That is quite prevalent right now on the format. So using Proxy F Magician and Mad Dragon, you can declare the fire attribute so that you can play around those targeting hand trap negations. So at number 1, we have the newly best deck, Rescue Ace. Short recap. At number 5, we have Adventure Sky Striker. At number 4, we have Dragon Link. At number 3, we have Vanquish Shoal. At number 2, we have Labyrinth. At number 1, we have Rescue Ace. So tell me your thoughts, guys, on the these best decks after the July ban list. What are your thoughts, and how will you process the expectations of the new ban list coming soon on the Sunday? So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you like this video. Hit the subscription button if you're not yet subscribed on my YouTube channel, and hit the notification bell if you want to get updated. So see you on the next one. Peace.
Fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again.